going live. I've just pressed. There we are. We're live, guys. Welcome to I don't know what do you want to call it. I still
Are
don't
you
know
a
what to call.
ghost whisperer? We're talking about entities.
So hi Sangeeta, hi Ryan. So glad to have you here to talk about my most favorite topic officially. I haven't really put it out in public
So
because
thank you, Shweta, for having us. And I am so glad that entities is one of your favorite topics.
I know, and it was one of the first classes that I chose right after bars. I took my first bars class, and the facilitator came and said, "Oh, there's a talk to the entities class happening next month. Which channel?" I was like, "Really? There's a class like that? Let's go do it." It was like that, and I chose there was intermediate that time and the beginners, all 4 days with Shannon, and it was like, oh my god, people are talking about this, and this is what 5 years ago or 5.5 years ago. But I never really had the guts to put it out there, um, for fear of don't even know whether it was fear, but it was this thing of, oh my god, what are people going to say? You can talk to ghosts, you believe in ghosts. So I want to invite you guys today to talk about this class, what it means to you, and oh yeah, have I been receiving from entities? Oh my god, so many experiences. And I'd love to talk about those, but first I want both of you to introduce what that is. What is this topic like? And how do you receive from it?
Since Ryan is the only gentleman on the call, and like women talk so much, I'm really going to start by giving the mic to Ryan.
Ah, what a gentleman you are, Sangeeta.
Of course.
You're a gentleman.
Always.
Thank you, Sangiita. Finally, I can talk. Yay!
Oh. Go for it.
Otherwise I will be like an entity trying to grab your attention. Like, hey, I'm here. I want to talk. I want to say something. Okay. So
I totally got that from your energy, Ryan. So you get to go first. Totally.
I'm used to that now. So hi everyone, and thanks for having me here. Shweta, so it's very interesting that you said this is like one of your favorite class, right? May I know why? I'm really curious.
Yeah. So what used to happen was, like, I was just a very big fan I still am, of horror movies and scary movies. Like when I was a kid, and I would be sitting in the night because we had just one television in my dad's bedroom. So I would be sitting up all night watching a scary movie with my mom, and my dad would be asleep next to us. It used to be so much fun, and it's always excited me how there was always this excitement about ghosts. And till I went to my first entity class, like I said, I didn't know people were talking about this stuff. I didn't know there was a class. And when I got the tools for the first time, like I said, this was probably in 2013, August. That's when I did my first bars class. And when I started using the tools, I was like, this shit works. Oh my God. So it and till I invited you and Sangeeta, till she texted me and she said, hey, we're doing this class. And I was like, I just did the Talk to the Entities Advanced again with Shannon. I repeated the beginners with her. But there's always this energy of, hey, there's something else there. There's something more. There is an energy there that we really haven't tapped into. And literally, if I tell you how much I've received when using the entity tools, like, I still don't have the guts to say I've received from entities. But while using the tools, I've received so much, right from communicating. And I don't believe I'm saying it out loud, like literally communicating with my grandmother for the first time after I did the class. I haven't really said it out loud ever. And there was this flat that we have that wasn't going out on rent. And literally, I can't tell you how, once the entity was cleared, it just like, people just lapped it up to making technology work that wasn't working, to creating more clients and money. And it's really not linear, I would say, for me. The way I have been using the tools of Talk to the Entities is, it just shows up in weird ways, but there is always this energy of excitement and enthusiasm when it shows up. There's that light thing that goes up. That's how it works for me. So now I'm just curious. That's what excites me. I want to know what you guys have received and what else has changed me, because I'm a greedy person. So I'm like, okay, if this much has worked, then there's more there that I haven't tapped into. Now what else?
Cool.
So yeah, so now you get to talk again.
So the title for tonight is like, ready to receive from entities. So,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you are one of those that receive from entities, not just entities, but the whole spirit world, and your life changed dynamically. Okay. And this is very true for myself as well, and I'm sure for Sangeeta and for a lot of people that have done this class. It's like when you first attend the Talk to the Entities class, it's like you have no idea. And then in fact, you would think you are crazy. You'll be like, why would I want to talk to the ghost, right? Wait, what is that? Is that entity?
Yes. I expect them on any call with entity.
So
No, that was
one
me
thing,
because I was just streaming the Facebook Live, so that was my phone. It
okay.
was the phone entity.
I'm also streaming the Facebook Live so that I can see a few people saying hello. So hi to you all, because I cannot see it from the Zoom. So most people, they don't get it. They think that the entities, they are something separate from our reality. So at first, I first did this Talk to the Entities, I think 9 years ago. I judged myself a lot for that. I was like, why would I want to talk to ghosts? I am so busy. I have so many things I need to deal with.
Yeah.
I have so many problems that I need to fix. And why would I want to talk to the entities? But when I first saw that class, it was an online class at the time. And then it was a strong feeling like pulling me toward that class. And then I was like, no. Okay. And then, so every day I was fighting with myself. Whenever I woke up, I was having this thought like, go to do this class. And then my mind would be like, no, I don't have the money. So
Yeah.
I fought myself every day. And then the feeling just got stronger and stronger and stronger. And then one day I gave up. I was like, all right, I will do this class. So that's how I came to Talk to Entities, and I never regret. It changed everything about my life. Okay, so because entities is actually a huge part of our life, especially for us, like we are in Asia.
Yes.
Yeah, like everywhere. So you talk to them without realizing, you listen to them without realizing, or you might even see them, but you don't realize you see them. You justify like, oh, maybe I see it wrongly. I shouldn't see them, blah, blah, blah. But actually, they are everywhere.
See,
So
when
it's
you're
a huge
saying
part of our
entities,
life.
you are talking about people who have left their bodies. And what
Yes,
exactly do you
mainly
mean
that.
when you say entities?
We are talking
Ghosts.
about ghosts and spirits.
Oh my
The
God,
scary
we're
ghosts.
finally talking about it.
But there's something very interesting, Ryan, that Shweta said, that she attended this class a few years ago and she attended the advance, and now it's only now that she's been so open and willing to talk about it, because there's so much taboo attached to this topic, and like nobody really talks about it. And one of the things that we are, I think, like totally, I'm not saying that it's applicable to us, but how many people are actually like afraid of being judged as being weird because you can talk to ghosts and you can talk to spirits, and like but I also realized that with this whole track change and with the way things are now, it's such an exciting time to be, because if there's any time to be weird and to own your weirdness, it is now. If it is any time to like actually be the witches and the warlocks, we really are. And what I love about Talk to the Entities is it doesn't make it dramatic and dramatic like it is in this reality.
Yeah.
The tools are so freaking simple, and it takes the trauma and drama out, and it gives you very practical tools to be able to clear, communicate, and receive from entities, which we learn in the first class itself. And the level, like what you said, Ryan, that you received so much and your whole life changed. For me, it was a relief of another kind, because when I joined Dr. The Entities, I remember Shannon had come to Bombay, and this was in 2014 or 2015, I can't remember. And 2014, because 2015 I'd become TTT-CF. But it was so interesting how, like, when I had the same thing as you, like, why would I want to talk to ghosts and spirits? I have so many problems. And I was suffering from depression. I was on pills. I was like, there's no need for me to
Really?
take
I
anything
didn't know
else.
that.
Yeah, I was diagnosed as bipolar. I was like on 8 to 10 pills a day.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
just discovered Access, and I was just about kind of getting my life like sort of in that fixing mode. What Ryan said, there's so much that I needed to fix in my life. And then this topic comes in, like, I couldn't avoid it. Because like Shweta, even I used to get really excited watching all horror shows at night, and like watching like scary movies. And also as a child, I remember talking to things that I couldn't see, and also receiving a response. So my family, as it is, thought I was crazy, and then you get diagnosed as bipolar, and everyone's looking at you like, when can we send her to the asylum? And you go and do a class like Talk to the Entities. But the first thing that happens is my depression elevates because it wasn't even mine. That was one of the signs of entity awareness. And had I not gone to that class, I probably would have been sent to an asylum, and in the least, certified crazy. And probably at some point I would have died because I couldn't take it anymore. It was so intense. My life was so intense at that time. So I'm so freaking grateful to the tools of Talk to the Entities. But that was like just on like entity awareness. I think my whole life has changed with this class in terms of, like Ryan said, the first thing to change was my money. That's so interesting.
Wow, really?
Because when you
Yeah, the
start
first thing to
receiving,
change was my money too. Remember what I just told you?
one of the things that opens up for you when you start receiving from entities, or even just claiming, owning, and acknowledging
Yeah.
that you have a capacity, is that your receiving opens up. And I'm sure Ryan has more to
Okay,
say
can I
about it.
ask you guys a question? So, there are these other different kind of entities that, or what else can you share with us about communication and receiving? Because receiving is one thing that we never thought about, and receiving from entities which you can't even see, which are invisible, which like, oh, do they even exist or not? And you're crazy if you think they do. So that energy of receiving, and another question. So two questions basically. One is about communication, receiving, and what are the different kind of entities. What can you tell us today about that? And another thing is that, like recently I just shared with you, just before we started, was this, and you were aware of this, Sangeeta, like right after the Talk to the Entity advanced class that I was on. I was looking at making a big choice, and I've been talking about this choice like for so long, for so long. And finally, like Ryan was saying, I was like, oh my God, do I have the money or not? And if I do have the money, do I want to put it or not? And when I finally went to choose it, it was like there was this huge money thing that happened, because of which I couldn't choose it. And literally, when I was, it was this thing of, and Dane was talking about in the ESB class, he was talking about demons. And what is it? So like, and a judgment is a demon too, right? The energy of a judgment is a demon too. So I don't know how much you can share quickly in this live today, but are there demons and energies and entities that are literally stopping you from making a choice and taking it to a no choice universe where you think that you're the one who's responsible? But if you have the tools of this class, how much limitation can you clear away? How much of that no choice energy can you let go of so that it opens up this world of possibilities? It's something that I've been curious about, particularly after the advanced class. And the third question, if I can go for it, is like, what can people receive in the beginning class with in Talk to the Entities beginning class? So I mean, too much. Okay, go. I'll shut up.
Shweta just gave us like this 20 question questionnaire. So which one do you want to pick, Ryan?
I know whichever. I'm like, oh my God, I want all of this answered.
I love how excited she is. And what would it
I'm
take for
really
like so many more
and
excited
really,
people to show up?
I haven't really been so excited about this topic. I mean, yes, I have, but uh, so that's really changed now.
So which question, Ryan? You have a choice.
Okay, so I have a question for you. So are you the only one excited, or are you also perceiving the excitement from those entities right now?
That sounded light and just turned up the excitement. So I wonder, what is that? And how can I receive from that? How can I make money with that?
Okay, so
it's a great question.
Well, because those entities, normally people only misunderstand them, people judge them, make them so wrong, vilify them. So Talk to the Entities, or maybe this Zoom or Facebook Live, this is a rare space and time that we can talk about them and receive them and not judge them. So they are actually excited, they're happy, like, yeah, someone can acknowledge us. Okay, so you are perceiving their feeling or their excitement without realizing. Now, so this is, in this case, this is quite a positive experience. But if you have entities that are grumpy, angry, or judgmental, or committed to death or failure around you, you will be perceiving that, and you might think it's you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Talk to the Entities give us all these tools, all this awareness to clear them if they are stopping us, or if I wouldn't say they are stopping us, I would say they are trying to stop us. Okay, good try.
Yeah.
They can only stop you if you are unaware, if you allow them to stop you unconsciously. So for me, and not just me, but a lot of people that have done talk to the entities, we have these tools. We are like, oh yeah, we can sense entities here. All right, bye, clear them. And then we are happy again, and we are continuously creating more.
Amazing.
I think the first thing that so right now we're very lucky. I look at it as a positive that since the lockdown has been announced, we've been allowed to do the 2.5-day beginning class online over 7 calls as a series, as a teleseries of 1.5 hours each. And this is my second co-facilitation with Ryan for the beginning. And the first one, it opened up a different space for Ryan and me. Of course, it was fabulous for the participants, but it was also a different level of receiving for Ryan and me. And what I really wanted to tell you guys was tell you, Shweta, that the beginning class actually, wonderful thing about Access is that when you facilitate, you also get facilitated. The class and the entities facilitate you too. So it's really like this gifting and receiving space. And entities, like Ryan said, are so happy when people are willing to kind of be, excited about them instead of scared, instead of afraid, instead of fearful, instead of looking at them like, like just dismissing. It's like, imagine if you're trying to get someone's attention for years and years and they keep dismissing you, how are you going to feel? Right? And we've been doing that for eons and for eternity with these beings that are just asking us for assistance because we have the capacity to contribute to them. And also, imagine we do that to those, but what about those that are trying to contribute to us and we keep dismissing them? So it's like there are these friends that want to like contribute to you, contribute to your money, contribute to your life. But you, because you have this point of view, just because you can't see them, and then there's that whole judgment and taboo around them, you keep avoiding them. And how many energies do you cut off in your life because of that, right? So the first part of Dr. The Entities, which is the 7 series, we deal with fear, we deal with the trauma and drama, and then we start giving you simple tools to clear and then the simple tools to communicate.
Oh, trust me, those simple tools are like...
yeah, they are like, I call them simple because it's so, like the first time when I did it, when I went to the first Talk to the Entity class, my biggest upset was that there was no trauma and drama. Like I didn't see any of those, you know how they call like a witch doctor, and then there is that fire in the center, and then you put in stuff in the fire, and then like a genie comes up. Like nothing was there, and it was so simple. I think that was my biggest upset. But
it's you're upset. Can I just actually for that first class that I was talking about that I went for, and here my husband is getting so upset that what are you doing? What are you getting into? What is this stuff? And I was like, okay, cool. I was just using the tools, and when I got back home, there was this major upset for like about 3-4 days, and suddenly it just went away, and I was like, what happened? And he just got normal, and we were talking, and I said, what did you think? I was going to come back with like a necklace of skulls or something and change and wearing? And he literally went, yeah. So like, it's nothing like that, really. And after that, it was more like he would say, hey, come and do some entity clearing to me. Come and do some entity. So that was the transformation that I saw,
Yeah. And also like what Ryan said, and what to your question about whether demons can stop us. Demons are nothing. Demons can only exist where there is judgment. And all of Access is about taking you out of that judgment. And so we talk to the entities. They cannot stop you unless you allow them. The whole premises of this class is to give you the awareness that you always have a choice to be the most dominant entity in your life. You get to choose and create. Doesn't matter what comes in front of you. You get to decide how much impact it has on you, depending on your point of views. And I totally love that about this class.
Amazing. So there's another thing that came up with somebody was saying, I'm scared, and the fear that comes up because of all this stuff. Like when we watch movies, there's a lot of trauma and drama, and there's a lot of gory stuff that they show. There's a lot of blood and all the ugly stuff. Like I never like watching those ones. It's like the ones where, like there was this beautiful movie with Bruce Willis. What is that? What is it called? The Sixth Sense. And so
Ghostbusters.
Ghost and Ghostbusters. Even Ghost was so cute. Like really, when it's actually that thing of where he's trying to communicate, and And what if
Yeah.
we could
It also
actually
helps
see-
that Ghost has a really good-looking actor called
I
Patrick
know.
Swayze, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Hot.
So what if there were those good-looking ghosts around that talking to us? And another thing, like this fear thing that's there, you know, like a lot of people are scared. I have this friend, very good friend of mine, who would be scared of entities. Like we did, then they went ahead and did another entity class. Like we'd invited a facilitator here, and we did this entity class with them. And she would say, "I'm scared of entities." The first time in the foundation when you talk about the entities, but then when she started using the tools, you know, now she's so cool with entity clearings. It's like when you're scared, could it be a potency there that you're not ignoring? What is that, you know, that people misidentify as fear and that they don't want to come to class or they don't want to choose the tools? And that just stops the receiving. What do you want to say to that?
Ryan, I know you keep waiting for my permission to
I
talk. I have
love
to
the
give.
way
I
Sangeeta
have
said
to.
in such a seductive voice, Ryan, Ryan.
Well, fear
You know,
is
Ryan is a cute Asian boy who always allows the women to talk first. So I'm just trying to be like polite and
I
inclusive.
love that. And with that, the potency of being the magnanimous creator that you are, Ryan. I love that.
thank you. Thanks for allowing me to talk.
You can go.
Well, fear is something that is it's designed to limit us from accessing our potency, our magic, our ability. So I've known a lot of people, including some of my friends and family, that I know they have great capacity with entities. I can totally see that. But every time when the issue of entities come out, they will be like, I'm so afraid, and then they will run away.
Yeah.
And because of that, they have no chance to realize they can be so powerful with entities. Okay, so if you have fear, so it's either you let the fear dominate you, or now you can dominate it and choose to be more powerful.
I also
So-
can I also give away a little secret from the class, Ryan? Is it allowed?
Well, I cannot say no. Do whatever you like.
I love this boy because of that. It just doesn't say no. But one of the things that was very freeing for me was to, of course, I'd heard it in my bars class and I'd heard it in my foundation class. But when I actually began to clear entities, it became very palpable to me how 99.99% of everything we think is ours, thoughts, feelings, emotions, point of views, are actually not ours. So often when I've cleared entities, it's been so starkly clear that the fear belongs to them. They are the ones that are afraid, or they are the ones
Oh
that
my
are
God,
depressed,
really?
or they are the ones that are upset. And it's just, and the biggest, for me, the biggest awareness that I received from this class was, just because you're dead and you don't have a body doesn't mean you don't take your personality with you. So if you've been an angry person, chances are you're going to be an angry ghost. So that was really, really
Love that. That
yeah.
is, thank you
And
for sharing that.
and this is just one tiny nugget from this class, like one tiny nugget. There are so many nuggets like this, which are like mic drop moments and very aha moments in the class. And Ryan and me have this, I'm going to do a little bit of self-advertising, but Ryan and me have this way of working together where we do this good cop, bad cop. So, the participant really gets this like if they don't choose change with my kindness, then Ryan goes straight in with this laser sharp, and then so I mean, I just love the way it works between the two of us, and I think that
You guys are
and
so
there
amazing.
are and of course there's a lot of humor in our class because we both can't stop making fun of each other only. But
I know that about you. I'm so looking forward to exploring it with Ryan. I definitely know that about you.
No, but that's so interesting, and the whole this whole thing about the good cop, bad cop. I mean, we have had moments when both of us have been bad cop. And that's been hilarious because like they're like oh. That's been fun too though.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And
just-
sometimes
so-
I'm the good cop.
so, yeah,
Sometimes he's
I
a good
can't.
cop. Are you trying to say
Sometimes.
Ryan is not kind, Sangeeta? You said-
Ryan
you
is
said-
no. Here is what I want to add. Actually, Ryan is truly being kind because he gives people what they can receive.
Amazing.
It's not about kindness is so misunderstood. Is so misunderstood, right? Kindness is giving people what they can receive. And that's one thing that I learned. Like, I mean, when you're working with someone who's always being that, it's very easy to become that energy. So,
Yeah.
like today, I was telling him that ever since we started co-facilitating a lot of classes, there's been so many places that my way of being has, and it's gotten greater. So I'm really, really grateful. And I'm really looking forward to co-facilitating.
Amazing. You guys rock. So would you like to tell people about your upcoming class? When is it starting? What does it involve? How's it going to be? Yeah, it starts day after tomorrow, right?
Yes, it's tomorrow.
It's
Yay,
tomorrow.
Really?
It's not day after tomorrow.
Oh my God.
It's
I'm like,
tomorrow.
oh, okay, awesomeness. So, and what is the time like?
I
What
don't
time
remember.
is
It's 8:30 for India and 10 p.m. for Indonesia and a slightly different time for Malaysia. What time is it
And
in Malaysia?
11 p.m. for me.
11 p.m. for where
so
I am. Yes.
8:30 to roughly around 10, 90-minute
Yeah.
calls each day,
It's a
guys.
90-minute.
7 calls and oh my
And
God.
we don't have 7 straight dates. We have 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and then we have a break in the middle, and then we have the 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st.
Amazing. And then that I feel is so much of a contribution because I have sensed that space of spacing out the calls like that. And it really contributes so much more to you, to the participants. I really have been part of a class like that and like beautiful. So anything else? Any question, guys? All those who are watching, do you guys have any questions for Ryan or for Sangeeta or both of them?
How can they ask question? Like,
Do you want to ask questions or are we good?
We
Are
have
we
a
done?
question on the chat.
There are no questions on the chat except it is scary and I like to be
I
a
do
night
want
witch.
I do want to mention before we get onto the question. I do want to mention that we have two gorgeous hosts who are as big a part of this creation as we are, as the class itself. There's
Oh,
Fena
yeah.
Vijaya from Indonesia and Priya Paul from India. So all the posts have both their numbers. So please feel free to reach out to them, guys, for payment details if you are willing to jump on. For any other queries, and even Ryan and me are here. So if you have any questions after the call
You
as well,
just missed
just
out
reach
on
out.
me. No inclusion.
And of course, we have the beautiful Shweta. So
Oh my God. I am an
if anybody has any
entity that doesn't
personal
exist.
questions about me and Ryan, you can reach out to Shweta.
Okay, cool. I'm so grateful for you guys. And anything else you'd like to mention? If someone else posts a question there, we'll take that up.
I
Anything
feel
else
like
you'd like to?
I want to add something to this
Please go
entities
ahead.
thing. So a lot of people they misunderstood entities. So we are entities as well. Okay, we are entities with bodies. So if you are willing, so let's say if you are not willing to receive entities, you cannot receive you as well. If you are willing to receive entities, you receive you as well because you are also an entity. So this class, on the surface, it's like you learn to clear them, to communicate with them. But on a deeper level, it's about you receiving you, claiming, owning, and acknowledging your capability and magic in this area, and a lot of other areas. Money starts showing up as well. So
I think that kind of answers your question about this whole receiving aspect of the class. Because once you start receiving you, then it opens up to receiving everything in your life. And thank you so much, Ryan, for bringing that up. Because every time I ask myself this question, why do I facilitate this class? And what is the why do I facilitate it? Why do I enjoy facilitating it? Because when I started Access and when I started Talk to the Entities, the one thing that was missing in my life was the fact that I never trusted me. I always needed to look at someone else to make decisions for me. I always needed to look at someone else to choose for me. I couldn't even choose for myself. And the one thing that the Talk to the Entities class really pushes you, whether you like it or not, is you have to trust you. You have to trust what you are aware of, because what you are aware of is only true for you. Like no one else can validate that. Only you get to be aware of what you're aware of and then use the tools to do whatever it takes with that awareness. And that was my first instance of actually beginning to trust me. And with just that, everything in my life changed. Trusting my choices, trusting what I know. And that was power in another level, empowerment on another level.
Amazing. So Priya's asking a question here. If you attend this class, does this mean we will get more entities?
Oh, I love that question. And I know Ryan does too. So I am totally going to give the mic to Ryan for this one.
Or shall we do good cop, bad cop? You can start with good cop.
I have a feeling that we're going to say the same thing, so I'm just going to hand it over to you.
Well, whether you do this class or not, there are tons of entities around you. Anyway,
I love that.
Yeah, it's not that
You
the
are in
entities increase.
you are in India. What do you expect?
Oh my God, I love that. When
But
do you do the
if
class?
you do this class, you will have more ease with them hanging around you, and letting them contributing to you.
Yeah. And also with that question, I do want to make everyone aware of this, that when you do this class, it's not like the entities increase. Your awareness of them becomes more. So it's not the other way around. It's not because you've done this class, there are more entities. There are lots of entities, like Ryan said, you are in India. And if you're in a Southeast Asian country, when you do this class, you're more willing to be aware of them. So yes, your awareness of them increases, but we don't stop there. We give you the tools to do everything that it takes to create ease, joy, and glory for you. And not just for you, it also creates ease, joy, and glory for the entities. And they are supremely grateful when you clear them and you communicate with them. Because like I said, imagine something or someone trying to reach out to you and you totally ignoring it. The first time you say hi, there's this wave of gratitude. It goes like, you see me, just like how when you went to the first access class and you were seen, there's nothing wrong with me, you see me. You know what that was like for you, don't you? So imagine being that space for
Brilliant.
entities as well.
So Ritu says,
If you think after attending the talk to the entities class and then more entities come to you, you're like, oh my God, more entities coming to me, and those entities will look at you like, what are you talking about? I have been here
I've
all the
always
time.
been.
Are you crazy?
I love that. And just this conversation has opened up so much more for me energetically. Thank you so much. Like, really.
Thank you so much, Shweta, for having us on here. I mean, Ryan and me never plan our calls. We have this, well, I don't even know whether we should call it monthly, bi-monthly. It's just like when the energy pops, we do this call, let's talk about it. And a topic picks up and we never plan it. And we just go with the flow. And we just like, so I never knew what we were going to talk about. Even for today, we knew that we were going to address the class. But thank you so much. This conversation has also had like a lot of penny drop moments for me so thank you.
Yeah. So someone's asking, Ritu's asking, do we always need to clear entities? Are they always contributing to us? And is that easy and to see and talk to entities?
Well, that's too big for now.
I know.
You need to come to the class.
Yeah, there's a really, I mean, I would say just ask a question, really, because this is something that you wouldn't really be able to comprehend with your mind. Like, why would I go to an entity class? Like, there's no why, right? But if this conversation is opening up something for you, like the moment I heard for the first time, oh, entity class, I was like, oh, that's for me. You know, if you get that, and if your world is changed with this little conversation, imagine what you're going to receive. And I know. I know Sangiita personally, how she facilitates. I've met Ryan in classes, and I know I've attended a couple of his calls. I mean, it just opens a different space. So I would just say choose. It's not such a big thing. You're not going to die. But you
oh yeah, that's one of the disclaimers that's one of the disclaimers we start the class with, that nobody's ever died on our Talk to the Entities class yet.
So, but what if nobody's going to die? I'm pretty sure.
But I do want to, Shweta, tell Ritu that clearing is not the only thing that we do with entities. There are always three things that an entity comes to you for, and each one has its own nuance. And in the beginning, you get a taste of all three. Of course, the advance has more about the receiving, but you do get a taste of all three, of what it is to clear an entity, when you clear an entity, when you communicate with an entity, and even the communication is going to be so personal to you. But we do walk you through that, and there are these gorgeous exercises that open up your receiving, so you also get a taste of the receiving aspect of Talk to the Entities.
Hey, can I quickly ask? I know I'm just being a greedy person again, but is it possible for you guys to do a quick 1 minute or 1.5 minute exercise for people to just experience? Is it possible? Can we do that?
I think so. I don't think it's a big thing.
Can we do that?
Ryan?
What do you want to do?
We just have about 5 minutes to go, And if you
Yeah, I
could
mean, there's a
just
lot of
listen.
things that there's a lot of things we can do, and then there are a lot of things that Ryan offers on the side. So I don't understand what you're asking us for, Shweta.
Who, me? Like I said, I'm always willing to receive more and more and more. And I'm like, and you know, one thing is increased, like now I'm willing to ask and I'm willing to receive a no. And what happens is when you're willing to receive a no, you do get a yes. Like I'm going to make you do that exercise now. I'm just manipulating you guys. Just kidding. I was just, the whole idea of what I'm asking for is because a lot of people still have the point of view of it's scary and I don't know what you're talking about. And even though I get what you're saying, the one thing that the one exercise that I received from Shannon, I don't even remember when, was this energy of where she allowed she asked us to push our barriers down and receive from whatever is allowing, whatever is wishing to contribute to us. And you don't even, I mean, I didn't even define it as entities, but that
Because
was
all energies
one.
are entities, actually.
Exactly,
Energies
exactly.
are
So the
entities.
definition of it goes away. Then the receiving somehow just expands so much more. So I was just asking for a taste of that. If that is something we could do on this, I don't know if that's okay for you guys. You please check if it's light for you. But if you perceive anything that could let people get a taste of receiving from entities, what would that be? I don't know, just whatever works for you. I'm always excited with this now. I don't know what's going on. And like in the beginning of the call, I was excited, then I wanted to cry, and then I'm excited, and I'm now more excited. I'm like, what's really
I
going on?
want all the excited entities around Shweta to bring
I
us
don't
bodies with
know.
money in hand so that we can really
Totally.
play with this excitement in
Yeah,
class. So Ryan,
absolutely.
do you have anything the top of your head that we could do?
Well, I would say so. Actually, talk to the entities is not something that you have to learn. You already have this ability. You already can do it. But in this class, you realize it, and then you start to be able to use it by will.
Consciously.
Okay. Yeah, consciously. So, for example, if you want something very quick, so right now, all of you just have a thought or have a request. All the entities around you that are not contributing to you, leave, go out, stay further away. That's it. Further away. All right. So
More?
now
Yeah.
suddenly you feel the space change. And
Yeah.
so, and for those that remain with you, just drop your barriers and like say hi to them. Like, hi,
Oh my
I'm
God.
here. I know you are here. And whatever that they be, whatever that they can contribute to you, just receive. And do you notice that with these beings around you, even though you don't really know who they are, but you're like, I feel kind of like spacious, ease. Okay, so it's something that we all already can do. And the class is, it makes you realize you are powerful in this area. If you are not powerful in this area, you won't be interested in this class. You won't be interested in this Zoom. If you
Absolutely.
have slight interest and slight curiosity in this Zoom or that class, you know you actually have ability in this area. So stop
Awesome.
pretending, okay?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
Well, thank you.
I would really like to add this before we end the Zoom. My biggest invitation to talk to the entities was that there is only so much you can, when you have a capacity with something or a potency with something, there is only so much you can avoid. Because after that, it starts getting painful if you start avoiding your potency and capacities. If you
Oh
want
yeah.
ease, if you want joy, say yes to your potency, say yes to your capacity, say yes to ease, joy, and glory, and be willing to step up. If you have a capacity, then there is nothing that you can't handle. I mean, there's nothing that you can't handle, really.
Amazing. Thank you. And we're kind of up on our time. We've kind of gone beyond our time.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'm so grateful. But thank you for that little space of receiving. That was beautiful. Thank you so much, Ryan. And thank you, Sangeeta. It was a pleasure having you both
Shweta.
here. And guys, what was the day for you to choose?
Yes. So
I'm gonna
tomorrow
say
night
bye.
we start with the first call. Thank you so much, Shweta, and thank you so much, Ryan. I'm
Yeah,
so
and
looking
I'll be
forward to this
sharing all
class.
the details of this class on this page as well, and they'll be out. Fedna and Priya will also be posting them on their respective pages, so you feel free
And you
to
can
reach
also
out to
reach out to
whoever.
Shweta.
Thank you. You finally see me. yeah. So whatever
Yeah, the
works,
entity
and
of Shweta was very loud. So please reach out to Shweta.
talk to me. Cool. All right. Thank you. Love you both. Low and loads.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
And I can see a lot of thank yous in the chat. Like, thank you, everyone, for receiving this. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.